Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see how to record opening balances or your account balances, and also we will see how to record journal entries. So, let's start with how to record your opening balances. So, in this case, you generally have to record your opening balances if you decided to shift to your books from any other accounting software, or if you are maintaining an Excel to Wave accounting. Now, you might have some opening balances which you would like to enter into Wave as saying opening balances. So, how to do that? We are going to see it. Now, as you can see, I'm on the dashboard, and you need to go to accounting, which is the fourth option from the below. So, here when we click on accounting, it will give you the option. See, as you can see here on the top, there are three options: accounts, account balances, and general transaction. So we now have to go to account balances to enter your opening balances. So basically what you are going to do is enter all your opening balances, and these will appear once. So here is how you are going to enter all your opening balances. If you have, you can mention the date as on which you want to enter those balances. Suppose I want to enter this in the beginning of the year, so that is 31st December. This is going to be January 15th, 1st January opening balances. So these you can enter, or you can enter it as 31st December 2014 balances. So suppose I want to enter here 100 as my accounts receivable, $100, then 20 as my accumulated balance, cash in hand another $200, then checking account, whatever your checking account balance. I am entering some random numbers, and I'm going to show you how to tally those as well. Suppose you enter here 500, then a payroll account. Let's enter in savings account, let's another 500, and if there is any unrealized foreign currency, you can enter the same. Let's enter here in credit card, say 700, and then so these are basically my balances for the balance sheet item. These are going to be my opening balances. Since I'm not in the middle of the year, I'm assuming, so this only the balance sheet item is what we are going to carry forward. If we are in between middle of the year and we decide to shift to Wave, then we might have some balances in your P&L also, which I mean income and expenses, because that will be recorded for a particular year P&L, and only balance sheet is where we carry forward, roll forward the balances, not in P&L. So if it is in the middle of the year, you might have some balances in your P&L also, in income and expenses, which you can enter here. Suppose in sales, if you have any amount, you can enter, but since I'm considering it as my year end, so I'm entering only the balances in the balance sheet items. So assets and liabilities, that is. Now if you have anything in expenses, you can enter income if you are in the middle of the year and want to carry forward. That's how you are going to carry forward. And now what I'm going to see is whether the balance is tallied or not. So here I'm having an difference of 120, which I should not have if I would have taken since I was entering random numbers, that's why I got a difference. Otherwise you should not be having a difference if you are shifting from one system where you were maintaining your books of accounts or software or Excel, which you have already tallied, then you should not be having difference. Balance sheet is generally tallied. So now I'm just going to enter this number to remove the difference and then save. So I'm going to enter it here as 220, my accounts receivable. and then see here, you can see there is no difference. This is tallied. Now I can save it. So once I save, so okay, I need to enter the description here, which I missed here. This is where you enter the description saying opening balances. That's why it gave an error. Now I have to go again and save. So I save it here. So this has been saved. These opening balances as on 1st January 2015, these are saved. And once you, if you go back again on to the account balances, this will not show here. If you go to the balance sheet, it will definitely show your balances which you have entered. So I'm going to just show you how this is going to show in your balance sheet also. Just go to the balance sheet, just verify that it is appearing now. So change the date, sorry 15, and make it January, make it 15, and then update. So once you update, so see, once I clicked on update, this has been updated as on, and it's showing the balances that I have entered. If you remember, accounts receivable, I made it 220, so it's just showing the same. And here is how this is all about your when you enter, it's going to show in your opening balances, and you can check it in the balance sheet. So now we go back again and see how to record the journal entry. This is all about recording your opening balances. Now we are going to see how to record journal entries. So journal transactions basically would be required for your year-end transactions, or if you want to enter any transaction manually, then you need those journal transactions. Otherwise everything flows either downloaded or uploaded, or through receipts they get included in your transactions. Journal entry is mainly required for your year-end adjustments. So basically I'm going to show you journal entry relating to depreciation. So you have to click on this feature of add transactions. Then this screen is going to open, and here you have to enter the description. So I'm entering depreciation for the year 2015 for furniture. Okay, now you can change the date if you wish to make it 31st. I'm going to keep it the same. Then we record the depreciation. We enter depreciation account, depreciation to accumulated depreciation. That's going to be the journal. You can enter description or saying dep for 2015, and enter the depreciation. Suppose it is 50, or suppose we make it just 10. Then we enter accumulated depreciation amortization on furniture and furniture machinery. You can enter the same description and then enter the amount. So this is credit, debit and credit. Now this has matched, this is total, there is no difference. Now you can save it. This is how you are going to record. If there is any additional line item, you can also add. If there is two things, 2 debit or 2 credits, or 1 debit or 2 credit, you can enter. So this is all about how to record the journal entries. And also you can edit at any point of time if you wish to edit any transaction, edit any opening balance, or edit any depreciation, or delete any feature. You can go and edit here. The option is see a small pen here where it shows edit, and then if you want to delete, you can delete here. It's given, the button, small button is here. So this is all about the journal, how to record your journal entries and opening balances. With this, I will end this lecture and hope to see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Take care. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to set up your financial year in your books of accounts. Whatever your financial year may be, whether it is 31st of December or 30th of June, you can set your financial year accordingly in your Wave account for maintaining your books of accounts, and it can be taken as the year end, or for closing of your books, for considering yearly closure of your books. So let's see how to set your financial year in your Wave account. So let's go to the settings option once again on the top right side, on the dashboard. Click on the downward arrow and you will get the first option as financial settings. So click on that. Now here you can see the financial setting date format. Now what is the date format that you want to be reflected in all your accounts and all the transactions that are taking place in Wave when you are recording it? Do you want to show it as December 23rd 2015, or in a date format which is month MMDD YYY, or 23rd December 2015? So whatever format you want, you can choose whichever you think would be appropriate, whichever you are using across your business transactions. You can choose the same, and so I'm choosing here, this is the date format that I want, MMDD YYY. Now the financial year end, whatever your financial year end, if it is fiscal year end is 12th or December 31st, then you can choose it. If it is June 30th, you can choose the same. And your currency, whatever your currency is, you have already you have chosen this during setting up of your books of accounts. So this is what is getting reflected. Now you are just setting up your financial year end. So this is all about how to set up your financial year end. Once you have set the date, you can just click on the save button, and then this has been set up as your financial year as 30th June to 30th June is your financial year end. So this is all about how you are going to set up your financial year end in your Wave account. So with this, I will end this lecture and see you in the next lecture. Bye bye. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to deal with a duplicate transaction, or how to treat and correct those duplicate transactions that has occurred in your books, and also how to not delete those transactions at the same time but correct it. So let's begin. Let's see how to do it. Now, as you can see, I'm on the home page. You have to again go to the transaction tab and click on transaction. So now all the transactions you are going to see which has been recorded in your books. Now let's assume what are the reasons why you might have a duplicate transaction in your book. So one of those reasons may be you have uploaded a receipt by taking a copy of photo of it and then uploading it to your Wave account, you have recorded the receipt as an expense in your books, and at the same time the bank from where you have incurred that expense has automatically downloaded that transaction in your books. So you might have a duplicate entry in that case. So I'm going to show you a similar situation wherein this transaction, as you can see, on the 28th of December, $6,000 has been downloaded from my checking bank account, automatically downloaded into my books, and it has shown as uncategorized expense. And at the same time, on 28th of December, I have uploaded a receipt saying this is the amount that I have paid for purchasing my raw materials, and so this is a case of duplicate transaction. So now what we need to do is, we don't need to go and delete this transaction. Only one step, we can merge this transaction. So what you do is tick on those two transactions which are a duplicate and go and click on merge. So you merge this transaction saying these are the similar transactions. So once I have merged, you can see one transaction has disappeared and the transaction of 6,000 final raw material is appearing. So once that you classify will appear and the one that is uncategorized will disappear. So with this, this is how you are going to classify or correct your duplicate transaction. With this, I will end this lecture and see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see how to set up your sales tax for your invoices so that you can bill your customer with sales tax in the invoices. So let's see how to do that. To set up your sales tax, you have to go to the setting option on the top right side from your dashboard. Click on the downward arrow just beside the setting and you will get an option for sales tax. Now click on that sales tax. So once you click on sales tax, you are given an option to add sales tax. On the right side top there is an option add sales tax. So click on add sales tax. Now here you can enter the tax name. So I will just enter it as sales tax. Okay, now abbreviation you can short form you can use. I'll use at ST, that's for sales tax. You can use any description if you want to. Whatever tax number is you can enter that. I'm entering a random number. Now, do you want that this tax number to be shown on your invoice? If you want, then you can tick it, otherwise keep it unchecked. Is this tax recoverable? Now coming to if this tax is recoverable or non-recoverable, it means when it is recoverable tax, you can adjust the amount that you have collected against the amount that you have paid, and the balance you can pay in case of recoverable tax recoverable. If it is non-recoverable, then whatever amount you have collected from your customer, you have to pay the full amount irrespective of what payment of sales tax you have made for any purchase. So I hope it is clear with you what is recoverable and non-recoverable tax. So now moving on, if it is recoverable you can put a check. If it is non-recoverable, if you are not adjusting whatever you are collecting, you are making the payment, then don't check it. If you are adjusting your taxes and your tax department is allowing it to adjust your tax by whatever tax you are collecting against whatever tax you have paid for your purchase, you are subtracting it from the collection and paying the balance amount, then you please stick on this. Otherwise, please don't take if you are making the full payment of sales tax whatever you have made the collection. So I'll tick on it. And is this a compound tax? If it is a compound tax, then put a tick, otherwise don't tick. And then you have to put the rate is whatever your rate is. So I'm putting a 4%. So 4, just put the number and then click on save. So once you save, the invoice that you are going to generate from now on, it's going to give you an option to actually select that 4% tax, and also the number, your tax number is going to be shown on your invoice. At any point of time, if you want to edit or delete, you can do it from here, from the actions, from the action below here, edit, and this is delete. So with this, I will end this lecture and see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to see how to segregate a common expenditure or an income between your personal account and your business account, or between your two business accounts. So let's begin. As you can see, I'm on the dashboard, and we need to go to the transaction sheet, where all the transactions are going to appear from your bank account or the statements that you have uploaded. Now here, suppose if you have incurred an expenditure, and a part of that expenditure you have incurred for your personal expense, relating to your personal expense, and a portion is relating to your business expense. So often we find a confusion regarding how we are going to segregate it. But here, in case of Wave, it can be quite easily done, because Wave allows you to maintain a number of set of books of accounts in your same account. So you can maintain your personal books as well as your business books in the same account, and also you can segregate those expenses between your personal and your business books. So you can segregate and you can assign them to the books that they have to actually get reflected to. So let's see now. Suppose we assume that there is a expense that we have incurred, and we have to segregate that expense between our personal and business expense. Suppose this is an expense, this 3,000 professional fees, which was incurred on 24th of December. So let's say a part of it was incurred for my personal expense, and a part of it was incurred relating to my business expense. So what I'm going to do is click on this downward arrow. Once you click on this downward arrow, you will find an option of split transaction. Now click on split transaction. As soon as you click on split transaction, you're going to have two options. You can add another 2 or 3 option as well. I'm going to show you 3 options wherein you can assign the expense. Suppose you have incurred for both your two businesses as well as your personal. So I'm writing here as personal expense and business expense for XYZ company, and and business expense for EFG company. Now here I'm going to segregate that 3,000 as 1,000, and here 1,500, and I'm going to segregate here the other 500. So it is done. Now I'm going to split this transaction between these 3 books. So what I'm going to do is click here as split transactions. Once I click on split transactions, it's going to show me in 3 line item. Now you can see personal 1,000, business expense XYZ 1,500, and business expense EFG 500. Now these expenses are still showing in your XYZ LLC. So this is the books in which it is still showing. Now what we need to do is move it to the personal expense to our personal books. So how we are going to do? We are going to again click on the downward arrow and move this expense to personal book. You can see here move to personal. So I'm going to move this to personal. where should this transaction go. Now you have to select from here whether it is going to be your this bank account or cash, from where you have which account you want to assign to, basically which bank or credit card, or from cash which account do you want to assign this to. So now this or which is the expense it relates to. So suppose this expense is relating to my clothes, let's say. Now move this transaction, money spent on clothes, personal. So let's move it to. So this has been moved, this transaction has been moved successfully to my personal account. So here you can see this expense has been moved to my personal account. And if you want to see, go back and see in your personal account, view the move transaction. So we can just go and see in my personal account. Here you can see this has been moved nicely. Now see 24th 10th 24th of December, 1000 spent on clothes. It has been categorized also. So now this is how it is going to appear, and it is done from my checking account here. So now let's go back again to the same transaction, and let's see how we can move the other expense that I have segregated the 500 into into your other business account. So let's come back to the transaction once again, and this 1500 which I have segregated to XYZ, it's going to remain in 1500 as XYZ. If you wish to change the description, you can do so. I mean the category, you can do so. If it is professional fields, you can keep it as professional field. And now this expense which relates to EFG Limited, my another company LLC, I can move this expense as well to that company. So how do? I click again on the downward arrow and move this to EFG LLC. So once I click on this, again it's going to tell me where should this transaction go. So let me put this in professional fees, but this is professional fee of that EFG LLC. So this transaction is going to move there. So now here you can see, here it is moved to, now this is to EFG LLC, it has been moved. And this checking transfer to the business expense has been moved to EFG, and the personal expense has been moved to your personal personal account, and business expense XYZ is kept in this, which is relating to this account. And if you wish to see this, you can go back and see this transaction in EFG book. I'm going to show you how it looks in EFG LLC, this 500 transaction. Now you can see here, again come back to EFG LLC and see, this is the transaction that we have moved from XYZ books to EFG and assigned it. So all this is about your how to split the transaction between your personal and business books. With this, I will end this lecture and see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Hello and welcome back. In the previous lecture, we have seen how to transfer entry between two bank account in your Wave books to show those transfer transactions. Now in this lecture, we are going to see how to unlink those transfer transactions. Suppose if you feel you have done some mistake and those two transactions should not have been linked, instead of deleting those two transactions and making again posting those two posting the transactions, you can just by one click you can unlink those transactions and categorize it properly. So let's see how to do that. Again we move to the transaction tab, and I'm going to choose the transaction that we have transferred in the shown as a transfer entry, and I'm going to show you how to unlink those transactions. So now let's see two transactions. Now here you can see the first two transaction. It is a transfer from checking account, transfer to saving account. So these two transactions are linked, 6,000 $6,000. And so I'm going to show you how to unlink those transactions. Any of those two, you can just click on the downward arrow on any of those two transactions, and you will get an option of unlinked or unlink the transfer. So click on unlink the transfer. Once you click on unlink the transfer, you're going to see the change. So now this unlink of transfer has been done, transaction unsuccessfully unlinked. So now here you can see, after we have unlinked, you can now go and actually categorize them as income and categorize this as an expense. So if you feel at any point of time, if you have linked those two transactions as transfer, you don't need to go back and delete and edit. If you feel you have done it wrongly, you can just go and one click unlink them and then categorize it properly. So this is all about how you are going to unlink a transfer entry. With this, I will end this lecture and see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye-bye. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, we are going to discuss a very important feature, which you need to perform to actually understand that your books are reflecting the correct numbers, which is nothing else than reconciliation of your bank and credit card or your PayPal transactions. So let's begin. Let's see how to do a bank reconciliation in your Wave account. So for that, you have to go back to the transaction tab on the left hand side once again. So as you click on it, all the transactions that has been downloaded from your bank account will appear here. All your transactions basically are going to appear here. Now you need to choose which bank account you need to reconcile. So for that, all these are the first steps which you need to keep in mind while doing the reconciliation. Here we will start with first with the verification. Here it's showing we have to click on all status, not verified or unverified, but the full all status. Click on all status, and then here just keep it all type, category also all transaction, whether categorized, uncategorized, everything. Now here you have to choose which account you want to do the reconciliation, whether it is your checking account, savings account, which account. So I'm going to do the savings account. Your credit card also, you can do the reconciliation here. Now choose the account that you want to reconcile. Now once you choose the account, you will see here an ending balance, verified, and difference. So we will come to that. First let's choose the date. So the date here, you can choose from which period to which period you want to perform the reconciliation. So I'm choosing 1st of December to 31st of December for 1 month. Now all the transactions that has been downloaded here in my Wave account, or that has been entered into my Wave account during this period, is going to be reflected here. You can see all those transactions are appearing. Now let's go and see what this ending balance is. Here you have to enter the balance that is appearing, the ending balance, as on your bank statement or your credit card statement if you're doing a credit card reconciliation. Now as on 31st December, whatever is the balance you have to enter. So I will enter my balance as on bank, which is $2,200. So let's enter that. Now this is the bank, this is as per my bank statement. Now this will be as per the transactions that are appearing in my Wave account. Now for that, to verify those balances, I have to come here and verify those transactions, saying these are the transactions that I identify. These are the transactions that are appearing in my bank as well as in my books. So let me verify one by one. So I verify this first transaction, then the second, then this. All these transactions are appearing in my books of accounts. So now I have verified all these transactions successfully. This has become green. Once you verify, this will all be get ticked and verified with green color. So now here you can see my verified balance is 2200, and my ending balance as per bank is also 2200. So there is no difference, which means I have done the reconciliation properly. Now if you find any difference here, means that there is some problem. You have to go back and check your bank balance, bank transactions properly, verify them each one by one, line item wise, with your transaction that are appearing in your wave account. Possibly there is difference, sometimes their difference happens because of duplicate transaction, or some transactions has not appear into your book. So you have to be careful about identifying those transactions properly. So this is how you are going to verify your bank account, your credit card account, and any or PayPal account. So this is all about your bank reconciliation. With this, I will end this lecture and see you in the next lecture. Until then, bye bye. Hello and welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to show you how to take reports from Wave, how to download reports from Wave, and how you can use these reports. So let's begin. Let's see how you can see reports in Wave account. Wave has some wonderful reports inbuilt features. So let's go to the extreme left hand side bar and click on the third option, that's the report from below. So click on that. Now once you click on report, you are going to get option of various reports. Here you can see financial statement. Now financial statement includes both your balance sheet and your income statement. There is report for sales tax as well. There is a report relating to your customer, where you can see income from your customer wise income, how much revenue you are receiving from each customer. You can see that it's a very important report to know which customer is giving you how much revenue. Now you can see which what is your customer aging report. You get a customer aging report, how long, if an invoice is not paid, for how long that customer has not paid, that will be available in a report. And vendor report, expenses wise, how much expense you have made incurred for each vendor wise, it is available. And if you have any outstanding payments, that is going to be available in a vendor aging report, which is also called aged payables. So and there are a few other reports like general ledger. If you want to see a summary and a detailed general ledger reports, you can see trial balances there. If there is any foreign exchange you are dealing with, there is foreign exchange gain loss report that you can see, which is again a very important thing. And also you can see account wise transaction report. So these are the few reports that Wave has, and you can I'm going to show you how you can download those reports. You can download the balance sheet. Let's start with the balance sheet, which is a part of your financial statement. So suppose you want to see the report for 1 year, year ending 31st December, whichever period you want to see, just select the date here, and it's going to take 1 year balance. It's going to take the balance as on that date. Sorry, it's going to take the balance as on that date and show you, and click. Then once you select the date, you click on update. Once you click on update, this date is going to change. It's going to, yes, as of 31st 12 2015. Once you click on update, the date that you have mentioned here, it's going to appear. So cross check whether you have pressed the update button or not. So this is all your assets and liabilities. If at any point of time anyone wants your balance sheet or income statement, suppose in your bank or any of your from where you have taken loan or taken investment, then you can provide those report, or for any other purpose you can just click it. You can download those reports in PDF, CSV and Excel. You can export those reports. I'm just going to show you how it looks in PDF. And you can as it is, you can send these reports to your bank or to whoever you want to send to. So this is how it looks. It looks beautiful in PDF. So you can take a copy or print it whatever way you want. So this is how you take your balance sheet. Now I'm going to show you the income report, how you can download the income statement, where you can see your profit or loss that you are making, from which period to which period you want. You can select it from here. Suppose for 1 year I want, and then 31st December. Click on update, and once you click on update, this reporting date is going to change. So this is what I have selected, and it is showing here the same date. And now here you can see all your revenues, expenses and your net profit or loss that you are making. Now again, you can download this in Excel, CSV or PDF format. Now let's go back and see the sales tax report. So here you can again select the period that you want to. Suppose I want for 6 months, and that's it. Now show updated report. So this is your sales tax report. You can download whatever. See, you it is the payable and it is the receivable and the net tax that you are owing. So this is how you will come to know what is your total revenue, whether there is any taxes. It is very helpful while filing your taxes. You can quickly download this report and know what are the taxes that you have to pay. So let's go back and see the customer reports. Here you can see the customer income by customer. Now that's a amazing report where you get to know how much revenue you are receiving from each customer. Now here you can see customer wise, I'm able to see my what is my revenue. So that's for 6 months. I can see, if you want you can change the date, and for the period that you want to, it's the same process. You can update it and you will get to know how much your each customer you have received from. So it's a wonderful report, and definitely as an entrepreneur you would love to see this report. What is your revenue from each customer wise. Also, another important report is customer aging or age receivables. That is which that this report is going to show you which customer has not paid for how many long days. Now this customer, Mark John, has not paid a bill of 600, invoice of 600 for 1 to 30 days. That means it is due for now 30 days, of within 30 days. No, it has not gone beyond 30 days. So this is and if any customer has not paid for 60 days, it will come in this bracket. So all is like these are all days, 31, 61 to 91 days. This is if any customer has not paid for 90 days, it will appear in this bracket. So greater than 120 days, for suppose for more than 6 months somebody has not paid for more than 6 months, then this is going to appear in 120 days. Now this is how you are going to see age receivable report, which shows how which are the invoices, not basically which are the customers that have not paid for how many days. So let's move on and see the vendor reports. Yeah, let's go now. See the expenses by vendor. Now here again you can select the period and update, and then go and see the expenses that you have incurred against each vendor. Now here you can see the highest that you have incurred is Prestige Limited, $6,000. So this will give you an idea of which vendor you are spending how much. Now again, if you have not paid a bill and it has been outstanding for some time, now you can see, come here you can see which bill is outstanding for how many days. Now go to age payables, click on age payables. Now this is again for how many period, that period you want to see as on date. If you want to see, you can see. Now this only one bill is due here, 100, for not more than 30 days, 1 to 30 days. So now let's go back and see the other reports. Now let's see the trial balance, how it looks like, because trial balance is something generally that is that your auditor will first thing, if you are getting your audit done, they will first thing that they will want is your trial balance. So this is how you are going to get your trial balance. Choose the date and then click on update, and here it will show all your accounts, and you can give it to your by downloading it in Excel, CSV or PDF, whichever format you want to your auditor or anyone who wants this trial balance of your business. Then you can come here, you can see the gain loss. If you are dealing in foreign exchange currency, you can see the gain loss for a period. You again have to select the period from here and then click on update. It's going to show you breakup wise what are the total realized, unrealized, what is the transaction rate. It's since I don't have a transaction in foreign currency, so nothing is shown here, but once you have a transaction, it's going to give you the transaction rate, the average rate payment, the current exchange rate, and the amount outstanding, all those stuff. And it is a very important report if you are dealing in foreign currency, if you have business outside your country, and you will definitely need this report. It's a very useful report. Then we go to the general ledgers. Let's see what are the general ledger, what we report. See here, you can see here all the reports that here is account wise is given, all the reports. Now what you can do is click on these reports. First of all, the period you need to select and then update. And if you want to show a detailed report, you can see a detailed report for this period. You can see cash on hand, all these are coming as a detailed report. Again, this report is something that you can share with your auditor. If your auditor will be like this is something you don't need to again go back and click, and you can click on each of your accounts and then give them the detail. You can just click on this report and all the details are going to appear, whatever transaction that you have done in this whole year or for the period that you want to. Suppose 6 months, in the 6 months, whatever transaction that you have done will appear each line item wise. So it's an amazing report again. So suppose expenses, whatever expenses every month, whatever entry that you have made in this ledgers, it is going to appear. So this is again a very useful report, and you can download this report too. And then there is one last report which we are going to see, which Wave has. This is the account transactions. So see transactions that has occurred. Suppose you don't want all the detailed report which I have just shown you just now, the general ledger, all the ledger report. If you don't want, you just want to know what your accounts receivable has, now you can create a report here. Now you can see your what your accounts receivable is. It will show you what are the transactions that you have done, which invoice, when you did you raise an invoice to which customer for the period. So this is again, you can select if you want to see any of your expenses. You can select from here, create a report. If there is anything, if it doesn't have, then it will show 0, and if you have any report, it's going to show you. Now create a report once again. So again, there is no transaction. So if you have any transaction, it's definitely going to show you. So I'm just going to show you another one where expenses, income, assets, whatever you want to see here, the report is showing the expense line item wise. It will show. If you don't want all the transaction, basically this report is, if you don't want all the detail of all the ledgers, just a particular ledger, you come to this report of account transaction, and that particular account, just enter that particular account and the period that you want the report to be, and you can download it in Excel, CSV or PDF, whichever format you want to. So this is all about the reports in Wave. With this, I will end this lecture, and also this brings us to the end of this course. And if you have any queries, please let me know. I will be very happy to address all your queries. Thank you so much for attending this course, and I wish you all the best. Thank you so much.